Hello everyone. Today we're gonna do yet another reading. This one's a patron request. This one comes to us from Vladimir Weiss, and it's called The Slenderman? It's kind of like a talking cat. So, yeah. It's on Creepypasta.com. I can only assume it's about the Slenderman. I mean, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure on that, because even the title doesn't seem 100% sure on that. So, this one's from 2012, actually. So, for reference, that's like not all that long after Jeff the Killer came out. And Slenderman himself was in, what was it, 2009, I think? I'll put it up on the screen if I'm wrong about it, but yeah. So this is a fairly old one. This is 8 years old now. But let's get into it. There it is again. What is that thing? I can't take this anymore. It's like everywhere I go, all I see is this horrible, tall, thin, and seemingly faceless creature. It's been haunting my dreams as well, ever since I first saw it. All it does is stand there and watch me. I can't shake this constant feeling of being watched. It's like I'm never alone. I hate it. I can't sleep. I can't go outside. And I can't function as a normal person anymore without it being there. I done a lot of research on it the past couple of days. Okay, that could be like a dialect thing. Just like it's a very non-formal way of speaking, which could work. Like I can see someone saying that in normal conversation, but in this field, it's really hard to tell if that's if that's intentional or what. Googling what I can best describe it as, all I could remember was it being an impossibly tall, thin man. I say impossibly because no human could be that height and that thin. It's just not goddamn natural. What about, what was his name? Robert Wadlow, like the tallest guy ever? He was like, I think that's his name anyway. Let me double check that. Yeah, Robert Wadlow. Height, 8'11", just shy of 9 feet. So I think that's around what some people say Slenderman is. And he wasn't exactly like a big guy either, like Andre the Giant or anything. No, he was pretty skinny. So, you know, it could just be a really tall dude. I mean, he'd be quite the sight, but it's possible. I tried my best to remember its face. I figured that would help narrow the search, but there wasn't one. I have no memory of seeing this thing's face. It was always just a blur. But then, I could never look at it long enough without feeling uneasy. I usually just walked in the other direction or something. Or if it was a dream, or a nightmare at that, I would always wake up before I could get a clear look. Well, the search provided me with something called the Slenderman. What the fuck is a Slenderman? This mythical creature is a thing that's been stalking me? No, it can't be. I refuse to believe it. I'm also having a hard time believing this. Like, it's another one of those stories where Slenderman is an established thing in the universe. I mean, at the very least, this has a leg up on Slender, the movie we watched, where it's just like, they do their research on it and they can't find shit. And that came out in like, God, what was it, 2015, 2016? Here's this guy 3 years earlier, he's just like, oh yeah, Slenderman, how about that? But that means you know he's gonna be watching fucking Marble Hornets or something. I've not left my house in 2 days. I've been held up reading all these Slenderman stories and accounts. Needless to say, sleep has eluded me for the duration. Yeah, that's what happened to me after I watched Marble Hornets. Nothing's going right anymore. I think I've angered it by not letting it in my dreams. That's weird, but okay, let's keep going. I keep hearing banging on the windows late at night, and creaking of the floorboards as I'm lying in bed. I know they say houses do that on their own, but this is different. The creaks aren't that of the house settling. There's weight behind them, like soft footsteps. However, every time I go to look, there's nothing there. But when I re-enter my room, I always get the sensation I'm being watched. Ironic, considering he doesn't have eyes. Tell me, have you ever been sitting in a room by yourself, windows and door closed, when suddenly the door opens for no reason? Oh yeah, I actually had that happen to me once. Like, the door handle turned and everything, so it was just like, oh, who is that there? And then there was no one there. It was one of the only paranormal things that's ever happened to me, actually. I think everyone has, but I'm different. I swear it's not the draft, the army draft. I've had all the windows locked for about a week now. I'm not one to believe in ghosts or anything of the sort, but this just has an eerie feel to it. Whenever the door spontaneously opens, it gets noticeably colder in the room. The second I leave the room, however, all the other rooms are back to normal. So it's not like my thermostat's on the brink of death. I think you might mean on the blink. I mean, okay. Any room, however, except my own. My room has been getting cold recently. Real cold. I resorted to lighting candles all around the room to try and heat up the place. Just get a space heater. I mean, come on. They're not that expensive. Okay, this is weird. Because, like, in the next paragraph, Okay, here's the first sentence. I went outside for the first time in over a week today. I thought maybe my delusions were coming from being cooped up and spending too much time scaring myself reading about the Slenderman. And the word Slenderman is highlighted as a link to creepypasta.com/Slenderman, which is a totally different story. It's not even the Victor Knudsen ones, like the little ones that went along with the photos. No, this is weird. Okay. And there's another one, the same link, a couple paragraphs down, and I don't know if that's the website automatically doing this, or if the author did that intentionally. I went through my day-to-day life as best I could, and to my surprise, no sightings of that thing. Everything was going fine, in fact. I was starting to forget about the whole thing. That is, until I was heading home. I was walking through the woods, trying to take in as much fresh air as possible before I went home, when I stumbled across a piece of paper lying there in the middle of the footpath. Oh no. Is this Slender? It was a drawing of that thing, the Slender Man. A very crude sketch depicted him with the words, "No, no, 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 no," scribbled down the sides of the page. God fucking damn it, it's Slender. Why would you write a creepypasta that has Slender in it? That's just, As I tried to decipher the page, okay, there's not much to decipher there. It's the word no 8 times. You don't exactly need a cryptologist to figure that out. As I tried to decipher the page, the clouds quickly darkened, turning to a heavy black. I best get home quick before the rain hits, I thought to myself. Now I'm home, sitting, staring at this fucking picture, going out of my mind, trying to figure out just how it got to where it was, thinking about how new it looked and wondering what sick fuck drew this and left it there for me. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'd be as well to get some sleep. I'm gonna guess that's just some phrase I don't know about, because that doesn't sound right to me. No. This can't be happening. I watched that get burned last night. I took that piece of paper outside last night and watched it burn. How can it be back? What kind of twisted bastard would put a duplicate copy through someone's mailbox? This really isn't funny. I can't even phone for help because my electronics won't stop acting up, and I'm too paranoid to leave the house. I don't know what to do. I mean, if the twist is that Slenderman himself is leaving these fucking pictures lying around, then that's just gonna be real stupid. I mean, he's fucking around with electronics, that's something. That's what he do. Things are getting too much to cope with now. Day after day, more and more of those damn pictures keep coming through. At least 8 of them. I've counted. Nothing works in the house, and I keep thinking I'm seeing him in the house. Whenever I leave the room, I think I catch a glimpse of him in my peripheral vision, or in the corner of a mirror I pass by. It's driving me insane. Has this thing really invaded my home? If so, there's no safety to be had. If it can get me here, it can get me anywhere. Doesn't mean I won't go down without a fight, though. I mean, see, the structure of this is kind of journal-y, but it's like there's no dates or anything. It's just like, it's like each paragraph is its own entry, and it's sort of being written in real time, not really as a past account, which is something. But it also kind of, like, if it's not actually a journal, it makes you wonder what the, kind of what's going on here. Like, how are they putting their thoughts down, I guess? I don't know, it's a bit strange. Okay, I've locked my doors and all the windows and took enough food and water from the kitchen to last me about a week. I'm going to hold up in my room for as long as possible. I don't feel safe outside, nor do I feel safe in my own home. This is my last resort. I know he's got something sinister in store for me. I just know it. Why else would he go to such lengths to scare me to the brink of my sanity? See, there's brink again, but at least that's being used correctly. Well, I've barricaded myself in my room for now. Boy, I can fucking relate to that right now. Nothing's getting in here without my say-so. Definitely not Slenderman, and definitely not the coronavirus. It's getting late. I'm going to try and get some shut-eye. Shit! What was that? I swear I heard something move. It must have, because it woke me up. This is no ordinary footstep that I heard at the beginning of all this. Oh no, that was a loud and deliberate thud. It must be messing with me. The Slenderman knows I'm here. I would get up out of my bed to turn the light on, but there's no point. He's been messing with the electrics. Okay. See, like the last couple, I've been a bit skeptical on, but that one's definitely a grammatical error. You can say the electronics or the electricity, not the electrics. That's terrible. I lay here scared out of my mind, staring into total darkness. And see, again, if you're going for the sort of journal entry thing, what you would probably want to do there is have like, I'm just going to lay here, scared out of my mind, staring into total darkness. And, like, the shit what was that thing is just sort of a bit like, I keep using this example from Monty Python where it's like, oh, he wouldn't take the time to write that down, he'd just say it. That's kind of that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. I know this sounds crazy, but have you ever seen a darker shade of black than normal? No, but I have seen about 50 shades of gray. Like when you're in a dark room with only a little light, and everything casts a shadow, but some shadows seem darker than the others. This isn't your normal everyday darkness, this is advanced darkness. I swear, even though I'm currently in near blind darkness, that corner is darker than the rest. It's the same corner that was in my last nightmare. It's like the darkness is moving. My night vision is getting better now. I can see a little more detail. Oh no. No. No, 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 no! I can see the outline of a man form in that corner. A really tall, thin man. It looks like he's wearing a suit. Oh god. It's him. He's here. Just like in my dream. I lay here frozen in fear, wondering what's going to happen. He lifts his arms and stretches it across my room and over to my head. He rests his hands. No, these aren't hands, these are tendrils on my forehead. I thought about grabbing his arm and trying to push away or getting up out of the bed and trying to break down the door, but something told me there's no use. Nothing would help me now. His tendrils grew in length and snaked down my entire body. Very kinky, slowly wrapping themselves around me in some sort of blackened cocoon. Before I could scream, the blackness reached my face and covered my mouth. As it enveloped my head, the last thing to be covered was my eyes, which were firmly shut the whole time. I decided to open them one last time. I looked directly up, and he was there, standing directly over me, looking down. That was the last thing I saw before the darkness claimed me. Although he has no face, I swear he seemed to smile. Well, that's the story. Gotta say, wasn't huge on it. It's just sort of, and then stuff happened. And yet, up here at the top, 8.81 out of 10 from 1,500 votes. I mean, okay, the writing style isn't bad. I've certainly seen much worse. If this was about some other kind of monster that, you know, wasn't Slenderman, wasn't previously established, wasn't already famous, if it didn't have all the Slender bullshit in it, I think this would end up being a lot better. And here's the thing, is like, the structure of the events is not great. Because it's just like, he's getting stalked, he looks it up, it's the Slenderman, and then Slenderman gets him, and that's just sort of it. Like, a lot of this is just sort of putzing about waiting for us to get to that conclusion of Slenderman gets him. And part of that is just playing Slender, I guess, in real life, and that's just not very good. Like, there isn't this sort of moment of dawning horror where it's like, oh, this is what it really was the whole time. No, it's just like, oh, this thing I looked up, it's actually real, and it's coming to get me. And it's just, it's very flaccid. But the writing style isn't horrible enough that I can really make fun of it that much. It's very whatever. Yeah, just sort of a not great story. But let's read a couple comments. Jeff is cooler than you, Slendy. And Toby is more daddy than Jeff. Holy shit. I might not be able to see them, but I feel them standing with me or behind me. Not lie. Me too. I saw Clockwork looking at me through the window and she said something like, not yet. Gotta love schizos. Not badly written at all, but I agree that I've read one too many of these Slenderman stories. So personally I found it boring seeing as these are dime a dozen now. But otherwise, like I said, very well written. You had me at not badly written. I mean, at least in terms of, you know, English and sentence structure, I guess. In terms of the actual writing, like the story progression, that sucked. But it's like, yeah, it's just sort of Slenderman gets ya. I am the 7th Slenderman. Watch your widows, lol, what? Creepy, intensely evil. One day the Slenderman won't be an imagination. It shall be real. With science, mythology will be real. Jesus fucking Christ. Role players. Like, you think Creepypasta Wiki is bad, but no, then you get these people. Okay. Like, I want to get actual comments, but most of these people are just like, this is so good, actually. Like, okay. Here's one that's a bit, maybe more critical. Pretty good, but the POV wasn't very good. At first it was good. Okay, never mind. This guy is... this guy can't really use words besides good, apparently. At first it was good with someone telling a story and whatnot, but when it told about her getting captured, it didn't make sense. Was it a chick? I don't fucking know. It should have been where it wasn't, like someone telling their story, but like a story where it is in the moment, like what is happening right now. Oh boy. I don't think I can read the rest of this one, cause yeah. Oh wait, maybe it's getting good. So pretty good. Here is a note for the idiots yelling at this story and Slenderman. First, if you think Slenderman is getting old, don't read the stories and yell at the people that wrote them or other fans. Also, believers and non-believers. See, even the guys outside my trailer are laughing right now. Also, believers and not believers of Slenderman remember this. What we call fantasy is more real than not. And also, dreams are memories that have been edited in a way to help hint at what is to be. And also everything that is or was started out in a dream. Stories especially. Argue another point. I don't care. I am just saying what is true, and I will happily go along with a long debate about Slenderman. I have been in debates that were about stuff I didn't know anything about, and yet I won. Literally just debate me, please. Yeah, pretty much all the comments are just like general praise and telling people to stop complaining because it's a Slenderman story. Like, no one's being very critical. I mean, these comments that I'm at right now are fucking back from 2012, so yeah, I don't think anyone else is really gonna agree with me on this one. Oh well. Yeah, overall, just sort of blah. It's very, very run-of-the-mill Slenderman story, like, probably worse than what I would expect from someone trying to make a Slenderman series on YouTube for the first time, and like, that's the story they're going with. Like, it's something that I would, like, it hasn't gotten its footing yet. It's just sort of bad. And in the end, I don't have much to say about it. It was short. It was just kind of boring, and I got more enjoyment out of the comments. I think that's all I can say about it. Yeah. The Slenderman, ? But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for Vladimir Weiss for suggesting this creepypasta. Thank you to all you guys for watching this video, and thank you to my supporters on Patreon. That's about it. I don't know. I'll see you next time.